Virat Kohli just went past 100 million followers on Instagram. You got 1.8. I know like people focus too much on the number of followers. I don't think they focus enough on who they're following. He only follows 198, of which you're one. So where does that rank, in terms of your career highlights?
With Virat? What do you mean with Virat following me?
Virat follows you.
One of my career highlights is actually playing with Virat at RCB.
Yeah,
that was like a...
Good player.
Far out. Yeah, that was an amazing experience. It really was. It was an amazing experience for two reasons. Virat, for sure, just to be able to understand what sort of makes him tick on and off the field, and just the great layers of a person that he's got as well. It's not just cricket and that's it. He's a very interesting person. He's very interested in other people as well. But then AB de Villiers at RCB as well. Like you have to turn the TV on when he's playing, when he's batting.
Yeah.
So to be able to play with him and get to know him off the field, as well as instead of just sort of battling it away a little bit on the international scene. So those two things were the highlight. But yeah, Virat, it's nice. Yeah, that's nice. But just to be able to actually play with him, get to know him off the field, that's more of a highlight than whether he follows me or not.
We understand that Virat's big into conspiracy theories.
You're right.
Do you know about this?
No.
It's just literally secondhand hearsay from one person. Let's just check this out on YouTube, see what happens.
Exactly. Drop a comment below. Yeah, like conspiracy theories. I feel like in Australia we don't really appreciate how much you're idolised in India. Would you say you're more famous in India or Australia?
Is that a serious question?
Yeah.
Oh, India, easily.
More famous in India, yeah. Because you play
more well known,
more well known, not famous, just well known.
Don't like that word.
That's a synonym.
Yeah.
You type in famous.
I don't. Yeah, that word doesn't sit with me that well, but well known. Yep.
Known in the public eye.
Yeah.
You play for Rajasthan, RCB, obviously, and then China Super Kings. I mean, which one of those was the sort of pinnacle? Which one did you enjoy the most? You won it with Super Kings, didn't you?
And RCB and Rajasthan. Yeah.
RCB.
Well, Rajasthan for me was such a amazing launch pad for me, like a relaunch really in a way. 2008, after having injuries on and off for like 2 or 3 years, I was on the scrap heap really of Australian cricket because of the injuries that I'd had, and that was an opportunity to be able to play an international quality tournament without having to play for Australia. And that was a time where it was a perfect storm. It would have been the time that I'd spent like a year working with Victor Popov. I'd been able to work on developing especially my power hitting over the previous sort of 2 or 3 years because of where I was batting in the one-day team for Australia, number 7. So it was a perfect storm, having Warnie sort of leading me and knowing how to sort of like direct me and challenge me in certain ways. And that was really where things took off for me as an international cricketer, and the belief that I could actually do something against, win games against some of the best players in the world. Yeah. And that was also where things really launched into into India as well, being playing for a local team, then also playing well, being a bit of an unknown in a way. Not an unknown in a way for it's probably in Indian cricket in a way.
Yeah, sure.
And then things just from a popularity point of view, things really exploded, and then it sort of continued to sort of grow. But so Rajasthan was an amazing experience. Like the whole IPL always has been, but especially the first sort of 3 or 4 years, it was just like everyone who was there was like pinching themselves to think, can you believe we're playing like a tournament of this caliber? The amount that we are getting paid to be able to do what we love doing in a world-class competition. It's also growing our popularity in the biggest cricket market as well. Like just all these things, and then so that were the first sort of 3 or 4 years, and then it sort of turned into more. There's it's sheep stations, like we have to win, all that sort of stuff. So it shifted to really professionalism, and that sort of novelty sort of wore off in a way. So RCB was a great experience after that because of playing with the caliber of people that I did. It was run by Diageo, which is sort of Johnny Walker company. So it was more corporately sort of run, which which is different. It's not that real emotional sort of connection that you have by owners who are actually there putting their real heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
And then CSK was an incredible experience to be able to be in a team that was aging, because of the experience that we had. MS Stoney being led by him, being coached by Stephen Fleming, who's is the best coach that I've worked with. Oh yeah, his man management skills, understanding of individuals, a team environment, but then also his cricket knowledge, and just he's the ultimate, I think. And then his connection that he had with MS Stoney, so that was a super cool experience as well.
Yeah.
So
when you come into the IPL and it's like the names that you're playing with. I mean, you also must have had run-ins with these guys in international cricket. Like, for instance, you played with Harbhajan, didn't you, at Chennai?
Yep.
Who obviously had a bit of a touchy relationship with Australia over the years. But then you sort of meet these guys. At the beginning, is it sort of like peacocking a little bit? You're trying to suss each other out. Who's the alpha in the room? Who's played the most test caps or whatever? Is it a bit like that, or is it just like, and you have to apologise for things in the past, or soothe things over or whatever, or is it straight in just like, nah, we're all mates here?
The only really sort of semi-awkward moment was Harbhajan Singh, for example. I always really enjoyed playing against him, and I wasn't playing in that Test series when all that stuff went down. So I was sort of unscathed in a way with Harbhajan. But the awkward part was Chris Gayle. Oh, yeah. So he came to the cricket academy when I was at the academy at 19, and I always enjoyed the way he played, and we always got along pretty well sort of when we played against each other. But then things sort of shifted. Things shifted when we kept playing against each other a lot more, and then we didn't particularly get along that well at all. I had a run-in with him.
Missing something there. It was good, then it wasn't.
Then it wasn't, which was in a Perth Test match, really, where he sort of got under my skin, and then I sort of had a go at him. I ended up getting fined because I carried on after getting him out. And then he sort of then fueled the fire in the media saying he expected that behaviour and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, so I just, had a sort of, didn't particularly get along with that well at all. And then we were playing in the PSL, like in separate teams, playing the PSL, and the IPL auction was on. And it came out that I got signed to RCB and he was playing at RCB. And I was like, he was the only one. I'm like, this is going to be awkward.
This bloke,
it's going to be awkward. We've just haven't talked really, and just butt heads on the field. So then I just had to break the ice. I saw him down at the pool, that next day, and I was like, who would have thought that we're actually going to be playing the same team together? After all, And from then on, it was actually really good. So it was, but I definitely had to break the ice because it's awkward. But outside of that, I've been fortunate that, even with Virat, we used to have massive battles on the field because he's very aggressive on the field and very much pushing the limit to win, and that's how I am as well. So we pushed up against, butted heads a lot on the field. But I always had the utmost respect for him as a cricketer as well. So as soon as I suppose I moved into to play RCB, that just shifts and it's not even talked about.